Clark, Mother of Madness is a comic book series. Tell us all about it, because this is a superhero, finally, that I can get behind. What is her superpower?
Okay, so her superpowers come from her menstrual cycle.
Wait.
It's so dumb.
Oh, it's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
You're watching Joker's Wild, your #1 alternative to entertainment, news, views, and reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest comic book to come out of the far left via Hollywood. Yeah, talking about a graphic novel created by a one Whoopi Goldberg. Stay tuned for more on that. First up, I've got to put a little disclaimer out on there. I used to be a huge fan of Whoopi Goldberg growing up. Huge fan. Couldn't tell you how many times I watched Sister Act 1. Especially that scene. Sun like an angel.
You're an angel. These are your wings. Flap, flap.
Although something told me Whoopi wouldn't be caught dead doing Sister Act 3 these days. Then there was a memorable turn as Guinan in Star Trek The Next Generation. Character cloaked in mystery and intrigue.
You! Picard, if you had half the sense you pretend to have, you would get her off your ship immediately. You know him?
We have had some dealings.
Those dealings were 2 centuries ago. This creature is not what she appears to be.
I always wondered what she was about to do to him.
You must die!
Then there was that memorable turn in the Patrick Swayze mega hit Ghost, film I actually watched again recently. Remarkably, it still holds up well.
He doesn't remember me? Oh, we spent all that time at the Brewster's Christmas party last year, he and his lovely wife, Shirley. It was beautiful. A big old tree and thousands of presents everywhere. Gas. I get a little gas from time to time, that's all.
Hilarious. What really was funny was that she actually did get a little bit of gas every now and again. Right up there on live television.
Almost half of Americans are convinced the flu shot can make them sick. Now, doctors insist that it is biologically impossible. Do you all get the shot?
I will not get the shot. I feel like, why do I want to inject something into my skin that's gonna make
Excuse me?
Yeah, whoa.
Burrito. Hold on for a minute. Oh my God.
That he got, gypped somehow in the election will still believe that he cared enough about his wife to pay that was gas.
No shit.
Our identity was really questioned, and I think it explores that in a really smart way.
I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
What the is this?
You're so right.
Oh, excuse me.
So differential.
I think I just blew a little frog out of there.
To really see what's going on as a nation. Not as a black nation, not as a white nation, but as America. Until we say no more, your kid is in danger. Black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, Greek, Chinese. Ooh, was that me? Excuse me. And we'll be right back with more hot topics. I got all for Clem, and then
More room out than in. If you can't handle a fart, you can't handle me.
Less Whoopi Goldberg, more Whoopi Cushion, methinks. Unfortunately, along with the vast majority of Hollywood, she didn't just drink the woke Kool-Aid when it was being offered around. She bathed in it, much like this guy. In fact, she's been soaking in it ever since. Which brings us to the release of her very own graphic novel. Look out, Ripperverse. From her very own original concept. But before we get on to the actual book, I want you to listen to how she frames introduction to the novel.
I love comic books. I've always loved comic books since I was a little kid, but none of the comic books seem to speak to me.
Wait. What? What did you just say?
You know, I love comic books. I've always loved comic books since I was a little kid, but none of the comic books seem to speak to me.
How can you always have loved comic books since you were a little kid if none of the comic books spoke to you? Like, how does that even make sense? What is it about them did you love them? Clearly I'm just being facetious. Probably ain't read a comic book in her entire life. This isn't new, is it? Remember the Rings of Power super fans loved Tolkien's work, but at the same time hated it because it didn't have enough diversity in it.
Alright, 3 words to describe the Rings of Power. Teaser trailer. Go.
Boring. Boring. Boring.
As an actor,
The message
means a lot to me because growing up I hardly had that, you know, watching TV and watching a lot of films and stuff. Never saw people of my colour.
It's just gonna mean so much to like me personally because it's getting that representation in midlife. Young kids are gonna see that on screen and it's just gonna be really nice for them to be like, oh hey, there's someone that looks just like me. Being like an elf and a dwarf. And
Shut up!
Yep, the more they talk is the less they've got to say. What they say is about as authentic as your average quote from Leslie Headland.
Like, Star Wars saved my life.
Shut up!
Like,
Shut up! Shut up!
But I digress. So what do you do about it, Whoopi?
I wrote my own. So I'm thrilled to announce.
Now look, I must say, man, as much as I malign her efforts here and what she's created, I'm gonna give her credit that she's actually created her own thing. She hasn't hijacked somebody else's character, somebody else's IP, and turned it into what she wants it to be. Like the rest of them do in Hollywood. Yeah, looking at you, Leslie Headland. Yeah, you 2-bit cultural vandalizing, talentless hat mother.
At my graphic novel, which I wrote 25 years ago.
Wow.
Because I was in the midst of going through the change. So the change is available now.
The change?
It's
What's the
about
change?
What do you think the change is, dear viewer? Is it her mind, her clothing, her political leanings, her gender? Answers in the comments below.
It's about a woman who embraces the superpowers that she gains during menopause.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this.
Can you explain those? Give us one superpower.
Huh?
Yes, Whoopi, please explain. Give us one power that this woman has.
Well, she's in the middle of an argument with her husband, and he is irritating the poo out of her.
Just like that.
Okay.
And she's talking to him, and he's starting to do this because she doesn't know she has these powers. So she is basically cooking him.
I don't know, maybe we should be calling it the cringe instead, huh? What do you think? And look, this is nothing new. It's the same crap Emilia Clarke put into print years back. Same topic anyway. What I don't understand is what all this fixation is with periods. It's just very disturbing. But then, hey, that's the woke elite for you, isn't it?
She transfers her heat to him.
Well, she does what all good superheroes do. When you don't stop talking, they move you. So, because I believe so much, you know, so many superheroes have wonderful chests, magnificent body. She does not. She looks like a regular person.
Yeah, she does look like a regular person working for, I don't know, Sweet Baby Inc.
I wrote her so I would have a superhero, but I aged out.
This is a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
So instead of me getting all depressed and stuff, I think all of you in the audience
should get depressed instead.
Should have a copy of this.
Right. Somehow I don't think.
Can somebody tell me what kind of a world we live in? This town needs an enema.